Loro Languaged Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. This is your cozy corner for natural English practice and real-life conversations. I'm Jaden.
And I'm Aria. We are so happy to have you here with us today.
Now, before we jump into today's topic, we have one tiny favor to ask. If you enjoy listening to us, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps other English learners find us.
Exactly. And we would also love it if you left a comment down below. It can be super simple. Just tell us where you're listening from or share your thoughts on today's topic.
And you know what? Typing a comment is actually a great way to practice your English without even realizing it. Your brain is working, choosing vocabulary, putting words in order. It is real practice.
That is so true. So please, don't be nervous about making mistakes. Even just one short sentence is totally fine. We genuinely love reading your thoughts.
All right, are you ready? Let's get right into today's topic.
I am so ready. But honestly, I'm also a little embarrassed because today we need to talk about a very toxic relationship in my life. It is draining my energy. It makes me feel bad about myself, and I just cannot let it go.
Oh boy, are we finally talking about your espresso machine again?
Haha. No, my coffee machine is perfect and innocent. I'm talking about my relationship with my phone, specifically social media apps.
Ah, the classic modern struggle. What happened this time? Did you look at your screen time report?
Yes. My phone gave me that weekly report on Sunday morning. It popped up on my screen and said my daily average was 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours? Jaden. I stared at the wall for 10 minutes, just rethinking my entire existence.
Wow, 6 hours is basically a full-time job. You are a professional scroller, but honestly, you are definitely not alone. I checked mine last week, and it was around 5 hours. We are all just completely addicted to the endless scroll.
But why are we addicted? I don't even enjoy half the things I look at. I just open Instagram or TikTok, and my thumb just automatically starts moving. It is like my brain turns off completely. I am basically a zombie.
I think a big part of it is FOMO.
FOMO, fear of missing out. I suffer from that so badly.
We all do. FOMO is that terrible feeling in your stomach that everyone else is having a great time without you. You feel like if you don't check your phone every 20 minutes, you will miss an important news story, or a funny joke, or a major life event from a friend.
Yes, exactly. I am always terrified that a friend is going to text the group chat, and everyone will be laughing and making jokes, and I will be left out, so I just keep refreshing the app over and over again.
But here is the sad truth, Aria. Most of the time, nobody is texting. The group chat is completely silent. You are just refreshing a blank page hoping for a party that does not exist.
Ouch! That hurts because it is 100% true.
The virtual party might not be real, but social media definitely makes it look real. And that leads us to the biggest problem, the comparison trap.
Oh, the comparison trap is deadly. You open an app, and suddenly you're comparing your messy, boring Tuesday afternoon to someone else's perfect vacation in Italy.
Yeah, and it is never just one person. It feels like everyone in the world is currently on a yacht in Greece, drinking expensive wine and watching the beautiful sunset. Meanwhile, you're sitting on your sofa in old pajamas, eating cold leftover pizza, and trying to find the TV remote.
Haha, that is so specific. Jaden, were you eating cold pizza yesterday?
Maybe. I refuse to answer that. But my point is, social media is just a highlight reel. It is the movie trailer of someone's life. It is only the best, most beautiful, most exciting 3 seconds of their entire week.
A highlight reel? That is the perfect way to describe it. People do not post pictures of themselves crying over a stressful work email. They do not post videos of their house when it is super messy and covered in dog hair. They only post the magic moments.
Right? But our brains are not smart enough to remember that. When we scroll for an hour, our brain starts to believe that everyone else lives in a constant state of perfection. We compare our behind-the-scenes reality to their heavily edited movie trailer.
And the filters. Oh my goodness. The beauty filters are out of control. I saw a video of a girl showing her morning skincare routine, and her skin looked like literal glass. There were no pores. Humans have pores, but she looked like a digital painting.
That can really mess with your self-esteem over time. If you constantly look at perfect faces and perfect bodies, normal human flaws start to feel like failures.
Absolutely. Sometimes I look in the mirror after scrolling through social media, and I just feel tired. I feel like I'm failing at life because I do not wake up at 5 a.m. to do yoga on a private beach.
Well, the good news is nobody actually does that every day. Even the influencers are probably exhausted from pretending to be perfect.
Speaking of being exhausted, we need to talk about what happens at night because social media is bad during the day, but it becomes a totally different monster after midnight.
Ah, yes, the dark hours. This is when the algorithm really attacks your brain. Have you ever heard the word doomscrolling?
Doomscrolling. Oh, I'm a professional doomscroller. For anyone who does not know, doomscrolling is when you just keep scrolling through your phone, reading negative news, disaster stories, and angry comments, and you simply cannot stop.
It is such a strange phenomenon. You are lying in bed. Your eyes are burning. You know you need to sleep for work tomorrow. But your thumb just keeps swiping. Next video, next article, next argument in the comment section.
Yes, and it is always the worst news. You read about climate change, economic crashes, terrible accidents. Your anxiety level goes up to 100%. Your heart is beating fast, but you just keep swiping. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I read an article about this recently. Psychologists say it is actually a survival mechanism. Our human brains are wired to look for danger. In the ancient times, if you knew where the danger was, you could survive. So our brains reward us for finding bad news.
Wow. So my brain thinks it is protecting me from a wild animal, but actually it is just stressing me out about a political argument on the internet. That is incredibly unhelpful. Brain.
Haha, exactly. The algorithm knows this. The social media companies know that anger and fear keep you on the app much longer than happiness. They are trapping us with our own psychology.
That is actually terrifying. But you know what else causes so much anxiety? It is not just consuming the content, it is creating it.
Oh, you mean the pressure of posting your own pictures?
Yes, posting a simple photo used to be fun 10 years ago. You just took a blurry picture of your dog and put it online. But now, it is a full production. It is a performance.
It really is. I have seen people at cafes taking 50 pictures of their coffee from different angles before they even take a sip. The coffee is completely cold by the time they finish.
I am guilty of that. If I want to post a picture of myself, I take at least 100 selfies. Then I spend 20 minutes trying to find the one where my nose looks okay. Then I spend another 20 minutes trying to write a clever caption that makes me sound smart but also effortless. It is exhausting.
And then comes the worst part. You finally press post, and you wait.
The waiting? Oh my goodness! You close the app, and then 2 minutes later, you open it again to see if anyone liked it.
It is a pure dopamine chase. You are just waiting for that little red notification dot. And let me ask you a very honest question, Aria. Have you ever deleted a post because it did not get enough likes?
I want to lie and say no. But yes, I absolutely have. If I post a picture and nobody likes it within the first hour, I panic. I start thinking, do I look ugly? Do people hate me? Is this picture embarrassing? So I just quietly delete it and pretend it never happened.
That is so common. We let a digital number completely control our mood for the day. We curate this fake museum of our lives, mostly to impress people from high school that we don't even talk to anymore.
It is ridiculous when you say it out loud. We are performing for ghosts.
We really are. And the sad part is, performing for ghosts online is ruining our relationships with real people in the physical world.
Oh, this is my biggest pet peeve. When the digital world interrupts real life.
Let me guess. Phubbing?
Yes, phubbing, phone snubbing. It is when you're hanging out with someone, trying to have a real, deep conversation, and they are just staring down at their phone screen, completely ignoring you.
It is the worst feeling. You are telling a story, and they just say, yeah, uh-huh, without ever looking up.
Last weekend, I went to a nice restaurant with 3 of my friends. We hadn't seen each other in a month. We sat down, ordered our food, and then silence. I looked around the table, and all 3 of them were scrolling on their phones.
Let me guess. They were checking Instagram to see what other people were doing, while completely ignoring the actual human beings sitting right in front of them.
Exactly. I felt so awkward. I just sat there drinking my water, staring at the ceiling. I wanted to say something, but they looked so focused on their screens. We were physically together in the same room, but mentally, everyone was on a different planet.
That is the ghost town of real life. Social media promises to connect us, but it actually builds a glass wall between us and the people right next to us.
It is true. And I have to admit, I am guilty of it too. Sometimes, Jaden, you are talking to me about something important, and my phone buzzes. I look down for just 1 second to check the notification, and I completely lose the track of our conversation. I am so sorry about that, by the way.
Haha, apology accepted. But it just proves how powerful that little vibration is. It demands our immediate attention. We treat our phones like they are more important than the human beings breathing the same air as us.
We really do. We prioritize digital strangers over real-life friends. So, how do we escape? Are we just trapped forever?
I refuse to believe we are trapped. We just need to fight back a little bit. We need a digital detox.
A digital detox. Okay, but let's be realistic. Every time I read an article about a digital detox, they say you should delete all your apps, throw your phone in a river, and go live in a cabin in the woods for a month. I cannot do that. I need my phone for work. I need it for maps.
Yeah, extreme solutions never work. If you delete all your apps on Monday, you will just re-download them on Tuesday and scroll for twice as long. We need micro habits. Small, realistic changes.
I like the sound of that. Give me a small change. Save my brain, Jaden.
Okay, step 1. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Right now, you do not need an alert every time someone likes a photo. You do not need a banner on your screen because a clothing store is having a sale. Make your phone silent.
That is a good one. Only text messages and phone calls make a sound. Everything else has to wait until I decide to open the app.
Exactly. You take back control of your attention. Step 2 is a little bit weird, but it works perfectly. Change your phone screen to grayscale, black and white mode.
Wait, really? Turn off the colors?
Yes, social media apps use bright reds, blues, and yellows to trigger the dopamine in your brain. It is like a slot machine in a casino. If you turn your screen black and white, Instagram suddenly looks incredibly boring. You will scroll for 5 minutes and naturally want to put the phone down.
Wow, that is an ultimate brain hack. I am definitely going to try the grayscale mode tonight. It will probably cure my doom scrolling completely.
It really helps. And my final tip is the easiest one. Create physical distance. When you go to bed, Put your phone on a charger in the kitchen or the bathroom. Buy a cheap alarm clock for your bedroom. If the phone is not next to your pillow, you cannot scroll at 2 a.m.
Physical boundaries. That makes so much sense. I guess we just have to remember that our real life is happening right now, in the physical world, not on a glowing screen.
Absolutely. The best moments in life do not have a filter, and they definitely do not need to be posted online to be real.
I love that. So guys, we want to challenge you today.
Yes, take a look at your screen time report this week. Don't be embarrassed, just look at the number.
And tell us in the comments, are you a doom scroller? Do you get anxious about posting photos? And will you try the black and white screen trick? Let us know.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's conversation.
We really hope you enjoyed it. And remember, no matter what you're struggling with right now, whether it is saving money, learning English, or just getting through the week, take it one step at a time. Be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. Learning a language is a journey, and you are doing great just by being here and listening.
If you found this episode helpful, or even just a little bit funny, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It is the best way to support what we do.
And please don't forget to leave a comment down below. Tell us what you thought about today's topic, or just say hi. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and trust the process.
We will catch you in the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye.